Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be my showcase of Rey Mysterio West Coast Pop. Yeah, so he is a Attitude Era defensive technician. Actually, I think he looks great, though. His model, I think, is pretty well done, for sure. So that's cool. Anyway, Attitude Era defensive technician. He has the Mexico link. Any color move starts with 2 more MP. Mysterio family gems do 50% more. Attitude gems do 10% more damage. Stock West Coast Pop gear. I don't care for his coach. You have to go all the way to 35k to get 1 MP down, and it's received 75% less damage from purple gems. Of course, this isn't like as good as it sounds. 75% less from purple sounds like a ton, but when people have like hundreds and hundreds of percentages, it's not that big a deal, and it's super niche. So I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze to take him there just for the training ability. It's kind of a throwaway training ability to me, so no big deal there. What else? Let's see. I think we're going to use all the moves. So I do not have the moment leveled up, but this is what the moment does. There's also something you can't see, adds 50% gem damage, rainbow. 50% more health would benefit him. Sub 200% more, not really. Green gems 50%, and then the rainbow 50% would help him multiply. It won't help him at all. So it's an okay moment for him. Mostly it's the health and the gem damage, right? So that's that. But I'm not using it for the preview. It's not leveled up or that kind of thing, right? You can see it's not even unlocked. So all right, so let's dig into it. The strap, I'm just going to be using this strap the whole time. 100%er, Fury 2s, you know, pretty standard. And we're going to start off with the Bronco Buster 6 MP trap move. 400k damage, 35 random gems into traps. Broken by your opponent, deal 250k damage and make 4 random gems into immobile gems. Broken by you, deal 500k damage and make 2 random gems into immobile gems. Chimera Lock 6 MP submission. Choose 10 gems to make into blue sub gems and do 1 million damage 3 turns. Remaining gems turn into immobile gems. And then West Coast Pop 10 MP blue finisher, 1 mil damage, 275k bonus for every immobile. Then finisher 1 mil damage and make 49 immobile into green. So yeah, all right. Entourage. We're going with Sammy and Steel to get the 6 MP loaded and give us 50% immobile. New Dom is 40% green gems and 60% immobile, so I thought I would showcase him here. And then Hogan is 100% immobile. There are not a ton of options, although at Coach there's a couple. There's a 60%er if you don't have Hogan in, I want to say it's Live? Zombie Live, maybe. And then there's also a 50%er in Showboat Eddie. So there's a couple other options, not quite as good if you don't have them. Dom is definitely a great option here with the green and the immobile at 60%. He's the number 2 if you get him. Otherwise, you're going to lose a little bit on the green, but not on the immobile, really. Anyway, all of that immobile stuff only gets us up to 852k. So let's see how many immobiles we get on the board. So you're going to chuck your trappy gems. And then you need, you'd have 1 MP, so you'd need 8. So 3 matches is probably the easiest. Now the one concern with this is that you potentially will get your sub gems overwritten by when the computer or the AI breaks the traps. It's a possibility. And then there's also the possibility they don't break a ton of the traps, right? So anyway, I'll just throw these out here a little bit, see what happens. Oh, there's a row break for them. All right, there we go. So we did not get it covered up, and we have most of the board-ish So that's not bad. Let's see what we hit here. A little bit of unblockable, and then a little bit of damage. It's a 37 million pin. I don't particularly care for this trap thing. It's really very heavy RNG based, right? On how those immobiles roll. You can also cover up your sub gems right away too, so... there is a build that is no sub needed, and very similar. We'll keep the same trainers in point of fact. Oops. Much better gameplay loop. 6 MP green. Wheelbarrow Bulldog. Deal 520k damage. Gain 10 blue MP. That's great. Springboard Moonsault. 8 MP blue. 520k damage. 5x5 area to make into immobiles. You choose that. Hardcore if opponent style is aggressive. First deal 520k damage and choose a 3x7 area to make into a mobile gem. So not really ideal. 25 gems at 825k. It's like a 20 million. And then we're making 25 gems into immobile gems into green, right? So it a lot of his, I wish it was a 6x6 or a 5x6. A lot of his stuff feels like it's set up to dodge plates, kind of. No guarantee you could set off a Royal Rumble, for example, with this. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back here. I like that move. That move's cool. So you want to try and place it to catch a few extra greens, like so. Now you're going to see... So Devon's got 73 million. Let's see what we get unblockable here. 21 million, right? And then a little bit of gem damage for another 12 million. It's 35 million pin. Now there are 2 plates you can use for this moveset. Of course, the nearing end adds 350% gem damage. And notice we did 12 million gem damage there. I just want to call this out for people, so it helps understand how just having regular gems and then adding a bunch of gem damage doesn't necessarily equate to big hits. So we're going to add 350% extra with that. And then the Kevin Owens plate, which has almost no worth, ultimate, is actually useful here too. So really low demand for the most part. Basically Hall of Fame JBL for both of these, and Penta for the nearing end is about it. Anyway, so another 150% green. So that's giving us 150 and 350. So by my math, that's 500% extra gem damage. And we were doing 12 million in the gem. Let's see what that goes up to, because this could potentially be money. Potentially. Spoiler though. It's probably not. All right. Go catch a couple extra greens. All right, let's see how much gem damage we do. Ba-boom, ba-boom. 21 mil unblockable. Just a little easier to see this way. And only 21 million gem damage. So basically not even 10 million for 500% gem damage, because there's nothing special with those 25, right? So it was like a 42 million pin. It's just not really a lot, right? If you, like, for example, if you have Shredder Roman, he's a much better play than that so far. Let's see about this last one, triple yellow. Rey is also very straightforward. Not a lot of crazy stuff going on here. Although this is, if you're looking for a cross break reversal guy, Rey has you covered. This is triple yellow, 6 MP yellow, tilt-a-whirl head scissors, 533k damage, and gain 5 yellow MP. If the opponent generated at least 1 cross break gem, then deal 5 million damage and increase your yellow gem damage by 350% for 2 turns. Then steal the opponent's turn. So this is a pretty hard counter for cross breaks with the way this is set up. It'll definitely be good against anyone with cross breaks. So Diving Hurricane Rana, 6 MP, 533k damage, make 35 random gems into 2-turn countdown gems that will deal 666k damage and make 2 random gems into yellow gems at the end of your turn. So, you know, 35 times 666,000 gives you like it's like, do you think it's like 23 million? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 23 million unblockable. And then finisher, deal 1 million damage and decrease your countdown gem timers by 2. That sets it all off. Also, if you go against the powerhouse, you get 100% boost. I think this is the moveset for him, to be honest, with what's in the game right now. Of course, the other one would get 100% more gem damage, the 50 green, 50 rainbow, but as you guys saw, 500% wasn't a big deal, so 100% is probably going to give you at best like a mil to 2 million, probably like 2 million extra gem damage on that, so not a big deal. So let's see what we do here. For trainers, we got yellow and yellow with 45% here, 35% on Brett, and 40% rainbow on Stunning Steve. So we're loaded. Everything's good to go. And yeah, obviously, the nice thing about countdowns if in yellow is you have some options in the primary slot. You got Z plate, and you got the Dusty Roads plate, Hard Times, for your options for primary plates. Secondary plates, not quite as much for this. Judgment Day plate or Rumble plate. You can see it's really straightforward. We're going to get that like 23 mil unblockable, and then, you know, we deal 36 million total. So again, not that crazy. But let's try it on a powerhouse without any plates. For that 100% gem boost. See how he does against powerhouses. So now we get 100% buff against powerhouses. We were at 36 million total. Let's see what we get here. $49 million without any plates, which is not terrible, but it's not at the same token, it's not blowing me away. Let's put Hard Times on and see what it does. Both on a whatchamacallit, a powerhouse and a non-powerhouse. But that search feature is amazing. All right. Now, on a powerhouse, this should add a significant boost. Not so much on a non-powerhouse. Very easy gameplay loop, though. Super easy. So, like, it, you know, this is one of those where, you know, Judgment Day plate, you're not really going to lose. 56 million. So that bumped it up quite a bit, but still not great, right? And I don't know if we'll get to 40 on a non-powerhouse. Let's go find out. And then we'll put a yellow Royal Rumble on to finish it off. All right, ready to go here. Boop, boop, boop. Here we go. Yeah, 38 million, just not, you know, not that schnazzy, right? Not that schnazzy. All right, so just for funsies, let's put a yellow Royal Rumble on him. Yellow. Okay. And then I'll show it with a yellow on a powerhouse too. Powerhouse should hit very hard. I mean, relative to everything else. That'll actually have good damage. Not very hard. But it'll actually be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not good damage. It'll be acceptable damage. Let's see if we can get up to 50 million this way. I don't know if we can. Big cascade there. We might. Not so much there, though. Yeah, 53 mil. That's a heavy price for 53 mil on a non-powerhouse, though. The yellow Royal Rumble has some quite nice spots, right? So, let's check it on a powerhouse. That would play-ish, kind of. Not really at all with the health boost in Showdown and Feud. Who am I kidding? It's too low, even with everything. So if you want to put really commit a bunch of stuff to him, you know. Yeah, 80 million. I mean, which is he's acceptable. That's acceptable damage against a powerhouse with a class advantage, right? But nowhere else, I don't think it really plays, right? So, yeah, he's not with what's in the game right now. Like, he feels really underwhelming, underpowered. Like, I feel like his damage is off about 10 million ish before adding plates, right? I feel like he's about 10 mil too low in his basic setup, really, and that really carries over to his high-end setups, to be honest. Just feels kind of low, although the gameplay loop on this one is great, and also it's pretty good on the Springboard Moonsault, too. Not a lot of choosing, so gameplay loops are solid other than the sub one, but the damage just isn't quite there. I mean, like, really, this move being like a 6x6 on the immobiles probably would have helped a lot based on what's in the game right now. And honestly, I feel like the gem buff should just be there on the finisher anyway. Because even with the gem buff, we would, and a primary skill plate, so without a Royal Rumble, right, we'd still struggle to hit much more than 50. We'd be hitting like 50 to 55, which is not enough. And then you add a Rumble to hit like 80, and that's a big commitment for 80, right? So something more like that, and I would be much more into him or thinking he was pretty good. But he's not really. The damage is just too low. The loops are fine, so potentially with stuff that could come out, we don't know, like if there's going to be some kind of skill plate for him, if they add gears during the month, any of that stuff. But for right now, he feels pretty underwhelming, mostly because of the base damage side to me. So he's not in the conversation for one of the better technicians, in my opinion. And like, just right off the top of my head, like free shredder that was given out free if you were playing during Turtles, like, completely decimates him, so yeah, he's but like I said, the gameplay loop isn't bad, so I wouldn't say he's terrible, right? Like, it's just he's not good and with what's in the game right now. So maybe he'll get better, maybe something will get added for him. It does sort of feel like some of the stuff was like dodging plates. Like, I feel like this trap move was kind of screaming for another move that, like, make 40 green gems, right? Like a triple green or something, where you put the traps out and then you break them and deal some damage, and then you blow up the board with green gems, maybe that kind of thing. And then you could use like the taker trap plate with greens and the blue barber thingamajig, right? And I feel like the trap and the sub both doing immobiles is just doubling up, so it's two of the same move set. When it should have maybe been some more variation here, like put a bleed on he's defensive, honestly, so it should be like, if anything, it should be like health steal on the traps because he's like a defensive one. So I don't really get the fact that this is a mobiles and so is this. But the loops are fine on the other two builds. It's just the damage isn't there. So let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this showcase. This is number 3. We got Dom to do, Dirty Dom, which I love. I love me some Dom. So let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully you enjoyed this. And remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching and good luck out there. Yeah, I'm not a big Rey fan, so I'm not fussed about it. You know, he's just kind of there.